Hello, welcome to Half Decent. This is the King. I'm going to give you a quick tutorial, well not really quick, but quite a long one, on how to build an entrance to your park on Rollercoaster Tycoon 3. Only the entrance with a few shops and a couple of buildings. But this is all mainly about what to build and how to make your park look good. And as you can see here, I'm just starting off making a few holes in the path, which are for trees. Try and vary which trees you use. Obviously, you don't want people constantly seeing the repeating thing. Repeating trees constantly is not very. It's not very interesting. It looks good when you make videos for it as well. Bit of variety never goes too bad. I think I'm not very good at building on this, but hopefully it doesn't look too bad. You want to start off with a nice sort of walkway. You don't want to go straight into like looking straight at a ride. It's not really ideal, considering obviously if you want a realistic park, then you want to have a realistic entrance. So I'm putting in a couple of trees here. I'm sticking to a generic theme just because it's a generic entrance really. Unless you've got a main theme for a park, I wouldn't suggest making any different themed entrances really. And to be more realistic, I've got to fence off the trees. In real life they will be fenced off properly. The music you hear in the background, by the way, is the Thought Park soundtrack. I think it's it. I don't know if it's the entrance. I think it might be. If those of you who don't know what Thought Park is, look it up on YouTube. It's a theme park in the UK, just outside of London, in a place called Chelsea. It's definitely my favourite park. So I grew up going to that park been going to that park since I was about 3 years old. So it was very good. I wouldn't say it's as good as Alton Towers, to be honest, but everyone has their own opinion. But then again, I went to Florida this March 2011, and seriously, theme parks out in Florida. Whoa, Jesus! It was like just a totally surreal experience, and it was very good. So now I've done all my fences. I move on to the nice, cute flower beds now. Just adding more variety, I guess. Flower beds don't look bad. Bit girly, but you know, every boy has their feminine side. I hope that this series will progress into something much bigger, because I've already got a couple of roller coaster videos out on this channel. If you want to check them out, I will be releasing I've already released a building tutorial and a no limits coaster. But I will be releasing a roller coaster called Lost, which is based around a spooky church. It's a twister coaster. It's quite long, but the scenery I think is just really. I've spent a lot of time on it so far, and I'm planning on spending a lot more time as well. So please give that a check. I think I'm about to build the queue lines now. When I say queue lines, it's more like just sort of waiting areas in real life that you would have for guests. Excuse me, sorry, I've got a cough. But yeah, you got to stick as real as possible, and I have a text message. I'm very sorry. My friend Chris told me that it is £7. I'm going to ask him if he's on Skype. Are you on Skype? But yeah, you want to have, like, as you can see how I'm separating the 3 different queues towards each different entrance. You're probably better off having more than one entrance. On one of my park videos I will be releasing later on, I have these entrance gates, and then I have actual sort of buildings with windows where the customer would pay through the window. Because on these gates there's no person on the door or anything like that. So it'd be good to actually make a proper realistic looking entrance. And also, just a little tip here, scaffolding is found under buildings, on coloured buildings. It does act as a fence. I think it looks really good in some situations like this, where it acts as like a sort of queue line fence. It does, it separates the queue from just the entrance really. To also make it a little bit more realistic, you've got to add in a couple of queue line monitors. But apparently first, oh no, there we go. I add in a couple of lights first, because you want your park to look good at night as well. If your computer can run the game in at night. Luckily for me, I bought a new computer about a week ago, so this is me getting all the footage I can off it really. I didn't actually show this in the dark, unfortunately, but I'll show you later on. This is me putting in the queue line monitors in a second. There you go. If you're enjoying Half Decent's videos, or if you haven't seen the others, check them out, and if you enjoy them, then please subscribe. We appreciate it very much. It's just a laugh really, to, upload some fun stuff to YouTube, give people some good tips. Tips like, putting benches in your entrance. Just gives it a better aesthetic look. If you're getting sick of the music in the background, I'm very sorry. But it was the background game music I've got, so yeah, just here I'm adding in quite a few trees, because you don't have just a plain sort of field around. So when I'm making a proper park, I add quite a dense amount of trees, because it's quite realistic, like when you're queuing or walking to an entrance of a park and there's trees around, you can't really see through the trees. So it's always good to make that as realistic as possible. Just quickly text my friend Chris again. When I say Chris, I mean Hoots from Half Decent. Actually, that's quite weird. Sorry about this. Yeah, as what I'm doing now, I'm adding a sort of main item of scenery for the entrance. Like, I normally use a water fountain or water feature. Here I use the Pegasus fountain. But as I didn't really plan the park out very well, I sort of didn't get it very symmetrical. And I'm one of them people that like a symmetrical park. So just for this video, I've made the path go slightly to the left in a second. Just colouring around it, and then I'm going to build some shops around it as well. This will be the main opening. You got to have stalls and shops in your opening area. There are quite a few parks. Obviously not all the parks, but a lot of parks have a sort of merchandise slash sort of food area where you have like the toilets and things like that in your opening part of the park. So I'm just adding a few bins, benches. I don't know about lights. I can't remember. Submit any ideas about what videos you want to come from me, from Rollercoaster Tycoon 3 or No Limit Simulator, then please, by all means, give me a big shout. I'll try my hardest to get what I can done. As you can see at the moment, I'm adding in music. I use the Air theme from Alton Towers. Alton Towers is the other theme park in the UK. I think it's quite popular around the world. Well, not popular, well known. And Air, I think it was the world's first flying roller coaster, and the theme tune is really good. Like, it just sort of, I don't know, you can't really describe it very well. You have to listen to it yourself. You can find that on YouTube as well. There's a little snippet of it there. So yeah, sorry. Yeah, Air was the first ever flying roller coaster, I think, in the world. I don't know for definite, but I know it was definitely in the UK. And I think the soundtrack's sort of like a sort of, you know, futuristic. Well, that is what Air is based around. That theming for Air is more futuristic and, you know, new. I think they pull it off really well. That's one thing I love about Thorpe Park, Orn Towers, Chesington, World of Adventures on the UK, is the music for the rides is just second to none. I think it's just music in general for most games like Halo, Call of Duty, like, the game would be half of what it is without the music. And my dog's just looking at me. Hello, Jasper. Come here, come. Good boy. Sorry, my cough's getting quite bad. But yeah, as you can see, I'm just building a few shops. Just me personally, I tend to put all the food shops together and all the drink shops together. Don't know why, but it's just like the way I do it. I think there wasn't enough drink stalls at this point, or in a minute, and so I just added in like souvenirs, shirts, etc. And then you put the information and like the sort of four-way access things, like the toilets, like you can access from all four sides in the centre of the path, just in front of the fountain. But the way you do this is totally up to you. I mean, you can have like waterfalls, whatever you want, really. Like, it's totally up to you. Really, it's your choice. As long as you're happy and you think it looks good, then do what you want. So I always have really good ideas, and I can never really pull them off because my sort of ideas never really come out properly in roller coaster tycoon. Because I'm not very experienced in building things. Like, there are some people out there who are just ridiculously good at building stuff, and I give them huge credit. This is where I'm adding in the sort of main, like, you know, sort of facilities like ATM, first aid, toilet, information. Yeah, so once those are added in, I think I get started on the buildings, which I make both look different, just to give you an idea of what sort of buildings I like to use. The colours I tend to use just, once again, sort of based around Thorpe Park, really, like the purpley, green, blue sort of thing, like just like a colourful family, sort of colourful entrance sort of thing. I don't know, it's weird. I'd recommend putting the block on the highest stall first before you go all the way along and sort of realise you've got to go one up higher than another stall. What I do here is just hang the roof over the path. Just looks a little bit more realistic, you know, like just have sorry, overhanging roof, giving a bit of shade to the guests. Another thing, you don't want one single path. You always want double paths or triple wide paths, so you don't get guests sort of I think it's called bottlenecking, I think the term is. I think it's when like too many guests are in one spot and it turns out quite, I think, just all packed in. It doesn't look very good. So the sort of in real life paths in parks aren't exactly one sort of block wide. You don't all crowd round and try and get to one place. A bit of air music. Yeah, I think when you're making buildings, you've always, like, at first I don't do it on this just so I want to get the building built. Try and add windows, you know, different types of walls and things like that, because then it makes, doesn't just like a big box. It actually looks, you know, like it's accommodating something, like having windows on walls and stuff. It makes it look more like an office or, you know, a building. So what I'm doing here is just making the first building for the food shops. It's not that interesting, to be honest, I'm not gonna lie. Whilst I'm doing this, I might say a little bit about our half decent team. if this first video you've watched from us, we're just 3 guys having fun on YouTube, you know, just making a few videos. We've all got the software to record some pretty decent games. For example, Amnesia: The Dark Descent, GTA 4. I'm recording F1 2010 at the moment. Jacob is recording Minecraft. Not really high quality game, but it's just so good. He's also recording Lord of the Rings Online with Chris, which I'll be joining them in. What other games? The Ship. Some people, it's a really underrated game. It came out about 5 years ago, or 6 years ago, and Chris told me about it, who's from the team, and I'll let you find out for yourself. It's just one of them games that doesn't get old. It is so good. But the team consists of me, Jacob and Chris. I'm the king, Jacob is Shadow, and Chris is Hoots. I don't know, I think Jacob was just a general nickname. Chris's one came from me and Chris always doing Scottish accents, and he ended up just calling himself Hoots, which was quite funny. And mine was a long-standing nickname from previous group of friends, which I still hang around with, but they don't do the YouTube thing. But yeah, the king, I don't know. It's a very, very long story. I might tell you another time, but it's quite embarrassing as well. So not yet. I'm just coming to finishing off this building now. You can see me sort of contemplating what to do here. I don't really know whether to build it like this. I ended up changing it a couple of times, I think, just because I didn't like it first time round. That's something you got to improvise on this game. You can't have a constant game plan as to what you're going to make, because then all your parks will look the same, and it won't be as, you know, if you make the same park over and over again, just with different types of rides, etc., then it's not the same. You don't have this sort of wow factor anymore. You've got to have different types of entrances. Admittedly, this entrance is almost the same as my other one from my other park, but I use that as a base idea just to show you guys what sort of entrance would be good for a park. So I'm going to try and change the style of the next building. Oh no, I had some windows in first, I think. Yep. Then change the style of my next building. Just for out of curiosity, if anyone knows how to install custom scenery onto Rollercoaster Tycoon Platinum, please let me know, because this is a Platinum version of Rollercoaster Tycoon on Steam. But I know how to install it properly. Like, you drag it into the scenery themed folder, but when you go on the actual game, it's not there. And if anyone knows how to sort of figure that out, can you let me know, please? I'm really sorry about my cough. It's really bad today. I'll say today, I mean tonight. It's like 3 o'clock in the morning. But this time around, I make a much more basic and quicker version of a sort of, you know, food court building cover. I mean, there are loads of different ways you can do this. Like, you could have a massive glass building, making it a big indoor mall or shopping centre or something like that. It'll take a lot of time, but if you can pull it off, then it looks good. Another tip really quickly, if you see me doing it here, I'm pressing Control instead of Shift, and it takes your object that you're placing to the same height as the one you placed previously. I think I'll do it now, just as a good example. I hope I do. No, I'm not. Okay. There we go, I'm doing it now. It just makes it much quicker to do roofs like this. Let's see, look how much quicker this is. As you can see, this building is much more not linear, but straight and much quicker to build. Just getting a couple of windows, making it look slightly more realistic. Sorry. Just add in the walls. think going up might get knocked balls on this bit actually, because you can't build build a wall right next to a shop, like adjacent to it or anything like that. Like, it doesn't let you do it. You just have to build blocks one space away, which is what mistake I made here. But you learn from your mistake. I've been playing this game ever since it came out, but eventually my computer just started dying on me. So apparently got a new one and used that and started dying too. I've never actually had it properly to play like all the time. This is my first opportunity, so I'm going to make the most of it and give you guys a couple of which I can try to give you. I think in terms of building the entrance, we are pretty much done. Just for an opening entrance, it took about 20 minutes, I think. I mean, and look, 20 minutes work, and I think that's pretty good. I improvised the whole thing. I just made up as I went along as well. So play a bit of our music. I hope you enjoyed it. Please comment on what you think. Like it if you like it, and subscribe if you like it even more. But thanks very much for watching. If you have any sort of hints or tips or ways I can improve, please let me know. I know my voice got quite boring, but I was just trying out some random stuff here. Sorry. But yeah, if you think I can improve in any way, please let us know. I mean, we're always open to criticism as long as it's good, constructive. But hopefully see you again next time, guys, because this is Jack. That's my gamer tag on Xbox. The King and Jack myself. Hello. Say goodbye. As I'm right now, very slowly.